Hey, so welcome back, tubers. It's been a while. I haven't done a live feed in what seems like months. Hopefully, I've got all these settings right. Can you hear me? Can you see me? If you're new to the channel, where are you from? Leave a comment in the description below if it's later or in the chat now. Let's hang out and have a chat. Not really any rules, just get after it and let me ask me any questions or, share your project or whatever. Let's get this done. Rightio, audio check should be the first on the thing. We got audio here. Is anybody in the room? There we go, the system works. Hello, Hendrik. Welcome, you're the first. Hello, sir. Wind. Hola. Hey, Pete, how's it going? Evening. DIY Tech and Repairs. Daniel, thank you very much for joining me, buddy. You're still alive there, mate. Yeah, I'm still alive. Work's been busy, even though my workshop doesn't look busy. And any of my regulars know, this side looks good. That side has all the shit put in it. G'day. I can't even pronounce some of your names. Nike, Lithium Solar. Why aren't you an administrator? A super administrator. Add moderator. There you go, Mike. What have we got? What is your price for batteries? How much do you pay? That's a good question. Battery prices range whatever you'll pay for them. I typically pay as little as humanly possible because that's the only way I can afford to do these projects. But hey, no, that screen, not that one. That one is the one I wanted. Yeah, battery prices are depending on where you live and stuff like that. Around here, they're like $3, $4, $5 per battery, which just seems crazy, but that's what people will pay. So I do have this little battery analyzer now. I'm really enjoying it. I'm still learning. I don't plan on actually doing a video for probably another week or so, because oh damn, I really want to get this thing down pat. Like I learn everything about it I can. It's a little laptop battery analyzer. So that's pretty cool. I've pretty much spent the last 2 days playing with it. Unfortunately, I've gone through about 20 batteries and 15 are, I just can't get them to run with the machine. But that is not the machine's fault. That is because I got about 250 of these, and they are my NCR 18650s, the grey ones, and that inside of that cabinet there where I got thousands of them. And it seems like they were all recycled because the battery management system went kaput. So I'm not too surprised about that, but what have we got? I really got to watch the chat. I'll go off on a tangent. How do I get this out? Come on, do pop-up chat. Pop-up chat. There we go. My wife doesn't even know I'm out here doing a live feed. Hopefully she looks at the cameras and sees it. Hello, champion. David, welcome. I want to make 200 cells battery pack. Can you tell me which BMS I should... I think that for a 200 cell, I think the Dali, D-A-L-Y, seem to have quite a good reputation. I got a turbine makes good power stuff. I got a turbine makes power good stuff. I want a wind turbine for the farm, but can't have it here. We've talked about that in the past. Hey, bud. I'm going to try and get this chat over here so make it look like I'm looking at you. What have we got? If I could ask, keep it in English because I can't read any other language, sorry. Tim, how much do you pay per kilowatt hour? I don't know. I have genuinely never worked that out. I don't know. It'd probably be a really good idea if I did, but I think I'd cry. The amount of money that I put into these projects compared to what I get back, like in true ROI, makes you wonder sometimes, but it is good fun and it's great learning. If I did it again, definitely bigger batteries. Chris, took a while to upgrade, but upgraded to 48 volt. Oh, your batteries will love you for it, and all your cable and your wiring and whatever else. Um, I really should have planned this live feed, but doesn't matter. More intimate chat. Just wanted to tell you I love your content. Thank you very much, sir. Good evening. What time is it for you? It is 6:03 a.m. I think. Yeah, 6:03 a.m. What else we got? Is your mic low to anybody else? Let me know if the audio volume is low, and some people just did. There you go. Is that any better? The camera, I'm using the Logitech camera, which is, let me work out that one down there. It's a little bit far away from me. I turned it up. Is that better? Audio check 1, 2, 3. How much does it cost per kilowatt to build a larger pack? I don't know, dude. Sorry, bud. That one. Daniel, hi, HBPowerwall. Can't hear. Heat ya. Low mic. Can you turn your volume up? Yeah, I think I've done that. What is good internal resistance? I use about 50. David, sorry, buddy, I can't read your comment. Volume is not good. Fire the makeup artist. I said in my moderated chat, I've got a little chat room where we all sort of chill out. So to do hair and makeup. I went to do this live stream, and Windows updated. Streamlabs, which is like OBS, updated. Stream Deck had to update. That computer over there didn't update. And it was like, you've got to be kidding me. It really has been a long time. Even my GoPro did a friggin' update before I could get on here. So, joke was I was going to do hair and makeup. Construction boy, hi, I'm from Philippines, and now we're experiencing a Category 8 hurricane. I don't think praying for you is going to help, buddy. I'm not a religious person at all. I'll think about you and I hope you're safe, but praying for you ain't going to do shit. Sorry. Hello from Netherlands. How's it, mate? What have we got? Have you looked much into LiFo 4? No, unfortunately, I don't have a source for LiFo 4 in Australia. And of course, with the new Australian regulations, I can't commission anything really at all. I can't do much. I'm trying to work out what else I can do with my channel. I have to finish that one. I've got too much invested into it to not finish it. I've talked to a couple of solar guys. I had a solar guy, which is within our community, show up. He said he was going to do some quotes. Jumped up on all my roofs, had a look around, spent an hour and a half here looking around, and then he ghosted me like, fuck, no quote, no nothing, asked several times. I was going to dig a whole heap of trenches for him and have all that done, but there was no use doing that until I actually knew what I was going to pay for the gear. I can't obviously quote labour, but not even a gear quote, so that drove me crazy. So even the shipping container thing is for now, but that will go in the shipping container. Can you explain a bit how to build? I want to make a 12-volt battery of 200 cells. Well, it depends on the chemistry you're using, what local regulations you've got, and what parts you've got available to you. I got the PIP 4048 MS for free. You can't complain about that price. Sound low. Is the sound still low? I don't know. That's all the way up. I can't put that any higher. Better but not perfect. Sound quality is low. Moobs. Hello from Spain. What's up, Peter? I can change to the other microphone if this one's not loud enough. Just let me know. Again, someone Facebook me, because it'll be quicker, because there's such a lag with the, what do you call it? Oh, there we go, Mike, your volume is low. Is that any better, Mike? And Dion, thank you very much for your 14 ZAR. I'm not sure what currency that is, but is it better? It's much better now. Okay, thanks, Mike. There you go. The system works. Good morning to you from South Carolina. Question, I have 2 Nissan Leaf complete batteries and 2 additional single batteries. So if I go with a Batrium, should I do a Watchman 5 and 1 MM8 in a 48 volt setup? That would absolutely work. It depends. I guess for me, I've been fighting. I've got the MM8, I've got the Watchman 5. I was going to throw them into that, but of course with the regulation changes, I was almost about to replace all of my Longmons, all 50 whatever of them, 52 of them. And with the Watchman 5. But with the Nissan Leaf cells, I really like Batrium's original design, and before people started copying it, for the Nissan Leaf cells. It looks really good. It's really tidy. It's got a high balance current, and it's my opinion, and this is not professional opinion. This is based on what other people have told me. Those Nissan Leaf cells are, they stay balanced quite well. So I think you'll easily get away with an MM8 and a Watchman 5 for that application. If you need a high balancing current, or you're going to put 5 or 10 of these batteries in series and parallel, we're not even going to go into that because I keep getting it confused. Perhaps the Leaf Mons would be cheaper way of going. So I'm not sure. I personally go the Leaf Mons. That's what I do. So, but the MM8, I love the MM8. It's just a couple of cables and away you go. So, and I've sort of, where's that one? That one. I've got my batteries kind of sorted out now. I actually went through and pulled out every single battery in my entire, my house battery, all my 56 cells. I tested every single cell. Now, I didn't film, edit, or do anything with this. I tested every single battery. And then once I got the capacity of every single battery, I left every single battery rest for like 2 or 3 or even 4 weeks in some cases. I think I had some out for maybe 2 months. And I let them all rest, and I found about 100 cells in all of my batteries. 100 cells that I pulled out that were either a little bit rusted, like visually questionable, still hold good charge and didn't self-charge and discharge and all that. And then I found, don't even quote me, I can't even remember now. I think 8, we'll go between 6 and 10 self-discharging cells where they were technically 0 volt resistors inside of my battery. And that was really bringing my capacity in my battery down because they were just draining the batteries. But funnily enough, I didn't find any batteries that had broken, what do you call it, fuses. Even all of those cells that were self-discharging, however very slowly, I think it took perhaps 5 weeks. I found 2 of my cells. They must have been out for about 5 weeks. And they went from 3.7 volt storage to under 1 volt. So that's all been fixed up and all been done. So high balancing current, it depends on how good your batteries are. I guess that was the really long way around of actually saying that. Cool t-shirt, man. This one or the Moobs one? Average Joe, do a Moobs t-shirt, please. I'll buy 2. Don't you afraid that you could catch fire? Of course. But then again, my car could catch fire, my deep fryer in my kitchen could catch fire, the wiring in my walls could catch fire. Shit, if you worry about that, got a lot of better things to do than worry about things catching fire. You just mitigate the risk. What? I'm choking just trying to pronounce that, Dylan. I just finished my 35 kilowatt hour battery a couple of weeks ago. Love it, waiting for power outage. We are under a foot of snow, good God. We had a whole heap of storms here in the last couple of days, and I panicked and charged my batteries from the grid. The first time in 12 months I've charged my batteries from the grid. because they were sort of half volt, about 3.7 to 3. Probably 9 volts, I guess. There's a decent spread once you get lower on my batteries. But I panic charged them, and we got like probably an inch of rain or something over a couple of days. And I'm thinking, you know, the local weather bureau said storms, thunder, hail, whatever, death, destruction, and there was nothing. No power outages, nothing. I just wasted a whole heap of grid power. But I guess you get that right. Live haircut. Give the young one some clippers. Look, I'm going to go get a haircut today. I really hate my hair. I hate getting a haircut. I hate sitting in that fucking chair waiting for that woman to go. Does that look good? No, it looks shit, but can you hurry up, please? No, I'm not a haircut person at all. Nissan Leaf, what have we got? Dally BMS. Status on the Mini, large loft in your project. I have done absolutely nothing on the Mini since the last Mini video. I haven't moved a spanner, haven't pushed it around, haven't done nothing. And I feel terrible for that, but life in general needs to be more important than doing a project car or producing YouTube videos. Kind of realized that YouTube videos were basically destroying everything. Spare time, paperwork, editing, family life. It was just shit. So the way I'm doing it now is I get a video done when I get it done. I spend a lot of my weekends worrying about my bees. In fact, last weekend we got 30 kilos of honey. I got heaps of honey for sale. I've got a couple of hives now out at the farm. We've got a couple of projects happening out at the farm that I'm just enjoying doing without any camera. They happen so much faster. But the Mini, look, the Mini hasn't stopped. I've got quote here somewhere for the petrol motor to get rebuilt, bored out, honed, straightened, balanced, the whole kabit. And I think that's probably next on the list with the Mini, because once I get the motor done, I can sort of just throw it all back together, get the car on the road, and then once it's on the road, then I can do the electric conversion, because it'll be a lot easier to get a registered vehicle transferred from petrol to electric than it will to have a car that's been off the road for 35 years. So that's the current plan. We know how Pete's plans go, right? So hot I have to wet my shirt to fall asleep at night. That sounds like that. Nah, I don't do that sort of heat. Do you have a new inverter behind you? No, that is the Land Run inverter that one of my very kind subscribers, and was very tolerant with me, sent me up a dongle to use with it, and it worked. The dongle worked okay, but I still couldn't configure it. So basically it is just hanging there. It's got some dodgy cables here, but nothing's connected. There's no 240 volt. It doesn't turn on. There's no battery. It's just there to keep it out of the way and not get it damaged, because I think in theory it works, but without configuration and stuff, it's just a fire hazard. So I will be selling that to the person that gives me the most amount of money, which could be ridiculous and could be not enough, but yeah, it will be passed on to a new owner. So it's just there to look after it a bit, I guess. It's been scratched up and whatever else just from me handling it, and I'm not too proud of the a practically new inverter. It looks banged up like that, just because it was sitting on the ground because I got so pissed off with it. Dylan, I tested all my packs when they were built and plan on testing my packs every year. Well, that is actually on that. I think I'm going to plan on going out to the farm and pulling the first battery that we took out of the farm, because we put 2 batteries out there. One we filmed and one we didn't. And they've both been out there for more than a year and a half. One would definitely be more than a year and a half, and the other one's about a year and I think about 4 months after we put the first battery in, we put the second battery in out there. So we've got the 2 batteries out there. We've got, I think I worked it out, about 19 or 20 kilowatt hours out there now at the farm. So I was going to actually bring the top battery, because there was one, the top and the bottom. I was going to bring that back here and do a video of that one after 12 months of use, because I did test that battery and I've still got the same iCharger X6. It hasn't failed, which is bloody good. Bring that battery back and do a quick video, just going through it and making sure that it's still up to scratch and it hasn't degraded very much, because it's the primary source of power out there. Also really need a hot water system out there of some description. Still haven't sorted that out. He's still on gas for hot water. Hi Peter, I've designed an adapter for the 4x cell holders without any spot welding or soldering. You can remove a single cell within 10 seconds. It's extendable, so you can make a captured battery. Hengo, that's really cool that you've done that, but so far I haven't seen any product on the market that does that really well or properly, or something that I could say that's a great idea. Plenty of ideas out there kicking around and they are evolving nicely, but I'm yet to see one that I'm actually going, yes, that's awesome. A bit like this device. I get offers all the time of things, and I'm just really skeptical of solderless designs. You'd almost have to have a clamp on there holding it in. Go back to that one. There we go. Knowing Peter's luck, it would be one of his customers' PCs that catches fires, not the batteries. I've had that. You know what? I've had that. I've had customers catch computers catch fire in this workshop, in my last workshop. Unfortunately, it's part of the business. I've got several, they're underneath the benches, several fire extinguishers in here for that reason alone. You get lots of roach, and it's gross, right? Roach infected computers, not computers, more consoles. But computers, the roaches get into anywhere it's warm, which is usually the power supplies, and you move them around, and they stop working at home. They bring them up. They've been rattled around in the car. They get up here. You lie them on their side. You turn it on, and it just goes poof. And that has happened more times. Like catching fire, actually flame has only happened once in this workshop. But smoke and, you know, having to air out the shed for 3 weeks, that's happened quite a few times. So the real testament to the applies to age of the system. When did you first plug it in? About 4 years ago, I think. Dion, that charge isn't your problem. I'm probably so far behind, and I am very, very sorry. $35. Totally skipped my super chat. No, I just haven't caught up to your super chat. Sorry, Dion. Oh, there's another one. Oh, sorry, guys. You don't have to donate money, guys. All the way up. What the? After maxing out the sign. Good now. Okay. Jeez, I'm behind. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to roll through it. Hey, everybody. Would love to do solar and battery bank, but government run the electric board, so they apply 300% import duty, so you can't do it. That's madness. Trying to control the market. Dion, how many amps do you capacity test down how many volts? Find my tests are below 3 volts, so I won't charge again. Okay, so I use 1 amp. I always have. I've almost exclusively used the iCharger. No, sorry. What is it? The BTC 3100 in the early days. And then in a lot of the later builds, I've borrowed Rowan's battery discharger, and they are the 4S units. Just so I didn't have to buy my own. We like anybody here, they can borrow anything. Any of you guys can show up here, but please, if you show up here, do the courtesy of ringing me first. Otherwise, I will tell you to bugger off if you show up here unannounced. And that happened maybe 6 times last week, 7 times. one person called and the rest just showed up. I don't have time to just stop and talk to you. But all of my tools are here and available for you guys to borrow on a elbow shake or a handshake or whatever you say in this weird time that we're in. That includes crimpers. I've got every different type of crimper, MC4, little ones for the little tiny plugs and whatever you need. And also the hydraulic crimpers for the lugs, X6, the iCharger X6, the community spot welder, soldering irons, everything I here have to do with the batteries, you're more than welcome to borrow. And I'm more than welcome to show people through my setup and stuff if you freaking call first. It's really rude showing up here without asking first, or at least bring Coke or something when you come. Jesus. Yeah, so you can do that as well. But the voltage, I keep going off on a tangent. I should try not to. The voltage I think is either 2.8 or 3 volts is the lower end, Dion. Live haircut. There you go. Dion, they are scrap test. You test 4.2 to 2.8. Yep. That is exactly what I do. Chris, what is the reason? Is it free? It was my brother's and it decided to let the magic smoke out. I replaced all the FETs on the battery high voltage side with higher rated ones and updated the firmware. I've never updated the firmware on my pips. I've never done that for some reason. You just picked up on a ton of, I just picked up a ton of C-Max cells. This chat is weird. I'm having all of the chats jump around. Audio is better now. Nissan Leaf batteries is battery up to 60 milliamp. Unless you have really crappy cells, almost anything will do it. That was my impression. Wow, this is weird. Top chat, live chat. I'm just going to go to the bottom of the chat because none of the chats in order. Totally missed my super chat. No, I didn't. I'm sorry, Dion, and I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for the answer on the Mini. I hear you. Don't feel bad about it. If I can stand to the back of the channel, I'll be watching you. Cheers from Bison. Also, with the Mini, I had a couple of people reach out saying they want to help me paint it, and they ghosted me as well. I'm actually really keen to paint it now, just because I just don't want it to die. I want the car to last many years. So, yeah. I tried to replace a bad laptop battery with new 1860 cells, but the laptop didn't detect as a new battery pack shows low battery. Any solution for this problem? You'd have to do something with the BMS within it. The BMS probably needs to be told what cells are in it, or at least, at the very least, the capacity of the cells. I believe this laptop battery analyzer is, it has very, very limited support, where you can go here. You can go to reset. Reset. I've got to connect a battery. But you can go over to reset, and then you can send information to the battery. So maybe that's a feature down the track. I'm not sure. User recycle power. You're asking about the whole battery of test. Hi, no single cells. Good afternoon, fellas. G'day, mate. Opus, Lido, Digital 4S, that's it. All discharges down to 2.8 to 2.9, then recharges. What do we got? What are your favorite YouTube channels to watch? Project Beekeeping. That is a mini channel, or they're doing a little bit of other stuff now, but Project Beekeeping. North Ridge Fix does a lot of electronics repairs videos. I binge watch electronic repairs videos at the moment. I am trying to get better at doing that sort of stuff. And in fact, on the on Friday, I did my first successful audio IC swap on an iPhone 7 with a new trace underneath the BGA. So that was quite cool, and it is very, very small. It's one of those chips in there, you'll never be able to see it. But I did that, a BGA replacement on an iPhone 7, so that's pretty cool. And I learnt all that from watching YouTube videos. I've got another one here to do. this one, I think this one might be the one I've got to replace one of those connectors up the top. So I'm starting to do things like that. I'm really enjoying it. And HDMI ports for PlayStation. So that's the last, that's about 2 months worth, about 100 there. Yeah. So channels that I watch, lots of electronics. I hardly watch any DIYPowerwall stuff anymore. It's not that I don't want to watch it, it's just I find it boring. I want to learn something. I want to be able to earn more money doing my day job. So I watch Lithium Solar, of course, DIY Tech and Repairs, although I think he's forgotten where cameras actually go. Average Joe, who else? Lewis Rosman, yeah, iPad Rehab, lots of them. Mighty Car Mods, that's very high up on the list. I still have solderless design in the works. Come on, you haven't even turned your bloody 3D printer on and you've had it for 18 months. Keith? Consoles come with friends. I have, with the console repairs now, I have a roach fee where it technically doubles the cost of me doing it because I don't want to deal with your bloody mess. My solderless design is a spot welder with M8 bolts, life pullbacks. I remember Austria, mine for sure. Next build for me is golf cart battery, 6 kilowatt to 8 kilowatt, maybe my first base room experience. I'm excited. All the other projects I use Electrodacus. Electrodacus bailed. I can't believe it. He completely bailed from the project. Digital Forest Charger, some big names in the 8050 YouTube community. Has anybody ever borrowed and not returned? No. That's the really, really cool part about it. And has my internet just died? Has my internet died? Which is the one with that one? 88. Well, I think my YouTube just dropped out. If it dropped out, someone messaged me. No, it's still there. Sorry about that. It just gave you a headache from me switching the cameras around. I hope not. Everyone, hello. It really does seem like my YouTube just dropped out. Can someone message me on Facebook if it dropped out? Did I drop out? You're still active. Okay, thank you very much, Keith. I don't know, all my statistics just disappeared on YouTube. Let's hope not. The statistics I am looking at is that one. So the current viewers and the chat rate and everything else is sort of disappeared. Average due time, 2 minutes and 24 seconds. That's shit. I must be boring, but I enjoy it, so who cares? Hey everyone, HB, thank you very much. Dylan Pepsi, message retracted. I want to hang around all day shaking elbows with you, Pete. That's such a sexual thing. I sent a community member Lido designed a 3D print fan enclosure and never got it back. I never designed print either. Dr. Pepper people, someone put Dan on a timeout. Dr. Pepper tastes like piss mixed with animal sweat. Yeah, this is weird. Hi there, Pepsi for sure. We've been through this. I was absolutely a Coke fan, but now I'm a Pepsi fan. Don't drink anything else, but way too much Pepsi every day. I think I'm a 4 litre a day habit. It's ridiculous. I should stop. If I was totally visited, I was from international. I should have said that. International people are more than welcome to show up with little notice, but still notice. Mountain Dew all the way. All the you guys suck. Top Chat has posted that YouTube does not prefer removed as users live chat. You know who? Everpainty's fan. Oh, you're talking about our mate, Jehu. He doesn't paint his van. He doesn't need to. His vans look awesome. I still do watch YouTube, Jehu every now and again, but I don't. If he puts a video up, I don't jump all over it like I used to. Definitely still a fan, but not a fanboy. Where did you get the laptop battery tester? It's in the. It should be in the description below. Thanks for videos. I bought a battery and love it. Thanks to you, Lithium Solar Average Joe. Thank you very much, Solar Garage. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Boom, hi neighbor. The electricity desert, Central Valley, California. Focus is rare here, but nothing fossil fuel but fossil fuel addicts here. Best wishes from Portugal. Continue your great work. Thank you very much, sir. I brought my first 3D printer. What software do you prefer? I played with Matter Hackers and easier than Blender. Don't talk to me about 3D printers. I have a 3D printer here. I will lend out endlessly because it's crap. I cannot get it to print reliably. I've thrown about, I would say, $400 to $500 at it, trying to get it to print reliably, including an all-metal hot end with a direct drive. It's an Ender 3, and I've spent too much money on it, and it's shit. It just keeps clogging. Doesn't matter what I do. Doesn't matter what type of filament, what brand of filament, what make of filament, whether it's PTEG, whether it's ABS, it doesn't matter. It clogs. It clogs after about 20 minutes. I get the first layer, and it's just like layer porn, and the first sort of centimeter or so, awesome, and then after that it clogs and doesn't do anything. So I don't know what's going on with it. I'd love to fix it because I got shit to print, but I just can't do it anymore. Really, we want to see the results of your work. Results of my work. That's really easy. Results of my work. It's a mess. And I haven't done anything on this since the last video. Results of my work. This is a lot heavier than what you would expect. There you go, results of my work. There is way too many hours of work in that to make it look that good. And I really do love it. No, not sure what no was to. We still hear you and see you good, still live. Power for the people, Keith on point, later off to edit. See you, Joe. I don't believe that for a second. Later, Joe, time out for me. Thank you very much for tuning in, Dan. I've popped up about 4 years. Just coffee, vodka is better for you. Vodka, and coffee. I can't drink caffeine because it makes me depressed. I love caffeine. It kills viruses too. Car battery, spot welder, microwave transformer, spot welder. Yeah, that works, but it doesn't have the control or the accuracy for me, or the consistency. Can't go past a K-weld. I'm sorry. I think it's K-weld. We tried working it out the other day, and I actually reached out to the maker, what's his name, Frank, from Keen Labs, and I said, the K-weld spot welder really needs a way of tracking how many welds it's done. And apparently you can do that if you hook it up via the little dongle thing, which I do have somewhere but never used. But every time you turn the unit off, the memory disappears. So I wanted a counter to know how many welds had been done, but that would add a little bit of extra complexity and more stuff to go wrong because you'd have to put a battery in it. But from what I can work out, it's done in between 40 and 50,000 individual spot welds so far. And lots of those are on that battery there. I've done that entire battery twice. I've done that battery once, and then I've done 4 of the batteries that I put in the wrong way twice. So there's a lot of spot welds that have gone into that, and an awful lot of feet of nickel strip that I've torn off and redone. So I've only got this much nickel strip left. I've got actually, if anybody wants nickel strip to test, I've got heaps of offcuts, little bits, in that thing down there. So if they want to borrow the community spot welder, they can grab some nickel strip and have a play with that as well if they'd like. I've got a bunch down there. It'll just go to the recycling otherwise. You deleted it. One of my moderators deleted Joel. Fucking 3D printers, print me a girlfriend. She wouldn't talk back, but if it is my printer to be messy and half finished. Do you have any suggestions for off-grid sout which can be used in cold conditions? Solar charger below freezing temperatures isn't good for lithium-ion batteries. Heating element. I don't. However, of course, you could use the new Batrium gear. If you wanted to control your and I don't even know if I'm allowed to show these tabs. I'm probably going to get in trouble. So this is my version of Batrium, which is like it's a tester version. And in here somewhere, wait a minute, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up off screen. Hardware, understand, cell monitor, shunt, expansion, integration, definitely can't show you that screen. Control logic, can I show you that one? I'm going to suck it and say, I'm going to show you stuff, and if I get in trouble, I'm just going to have to wear it. I don't think there's anything there that I can't show you that's not already out there. With the new update with the Batrium, there's a SOC limits, which means you could turn a heater on and off on time of day. So if it's colder at night time, you could just say, I'll turn it on for a little while. You could turn a heater on, you could turn a space heater, you could turn one of those little pet blankets on, that's little 12-volt pet blanket that'd just warm your batteries just enough to keep them above freezing. Now, I'm not in the, which camera I have? That one. I'm not in a cold temperature. I'm not really in a hot temperature. It's warm but not hot, so I don't really know the technicalities around that. But you could also use the scheduler. There's a new scheduler in there as well. You could turn off each one of those relays on and off and combine it with the SOC limits to control when your heater come on. You could also use the, what do you call it? The temperature sensors to actually turn on and off your heater just based on the temperature in the area. So that would work very, very well and very simply. You've got to get a BMS anyway. I think there's a few BMSs out there that do it. Of course, I'm a Batrium fanboy and I like the Batrium stuff. So I hope that sort of answers that question in a roundabout way. Please do tell, I don't know what we're telling, could you get a handheld spot welder working again? No, I couldn't. I fried it, and this is not a problem with the spot welder. It's a problem with, I think it was what I was doing and what I was trying to do. So that makes two of the handheld spot welders that I blew up. I got the first one and it didn't last one spot weld, but I put the battery in the wrong way around. But the communications with the company that make these, and I can't remember offhand, I am ridiculously happy with their responsiveness with both my suggestions and what happened to me, and they instantly implemented changes that would stop this happening again to anybody else. So they instantly, and they didn't change the price apparently. So they took my suggestions and whatever I did with it and turned around and are actively improving the product even further. So it's really good to see a startup company, a very, very, very green company, with that willingness to sort of say, okay, you found a fault, let's action it before we release it. So I think it's friggin' brilliant that they did that and they took those steps and so quickly. And they also, anybody that got the Generation 1 automatically got a Generation 2 as a replacement. And so that says to me about the company, they stand behind what they did. They realized the first one was less than average and they gave them a second one. So, and I mean, they should do that, right? But there's a lot of companies out there that would just not. And it happened without, as far as I know, it happened without people contacting them. It happened, they just did it. So I believe, if anybody knows differently, please feel free to contact me. But I believe that's why it happened. What do you do for a living? What does your day job normally look like? Well, I spend my entire day sitting at this bench. I guess I can show you. My day job is fixing computers, mobile phones. See, that's off camera. See, this is the sort of shit you get off camera. So I fix computers and consoles and Xboxes and PlayStations and Nintendo Switches and all that sort of stuff. Board level repairs. I'm not qualified at all to do a computer repair, board level repairs to Xboxes, PlayStations, or anything like that. I learned it all. Everything I learned on through peers or from YouTube, and I've been doing it for 22 years. So computer tech is basically what I call myself. Whomst? Joel, not sure what that was about. Yes, 1850 shrink. Fossil fuels, I thank my love for 1860 to you and Joe. Have over 10,000 cells now and counting. Holy shitballs, that's a lot of cells. You can get handheld spot welder working again. I covered that. What printer is that one? We don't want to buy one. It is an Ender 3. The Ender 3, yeah, the little one. I got it free from Bang Good as like a review thing. And look, it worked for the first couple of months, but then it just stopped. Do you have any suggestions for off-grid setup which can be used on cold conditions? I've done that one. Please do, Peter and Joe. Thank you very much. And it just disappeared. I'm sorry, YouTube. You've got to do something about this chat. What is the inverter brand behind you? It is a Landrun. But it's rebranded with 30 different bloody brands. Landrun, I think. Landrun. Lantrun. What is it? Needs a software update. Maybe you get Octopi and a monitor. I had Octopi on there. I've got software update. I put a new board in. I put a silent board in it. I've done a lot of stuff to that 3D printer, I promise you. Like a humidity problem. There's no humidity. We haven't had rain for like 6 months until a couple of days ago. It's not very humid here. And even a lot of my packets, I've tried packets here. I've got them all. I mean, yes, I have some like that drive me crazy, but that's cheap PTEG. But I've got lots of new. I've got sealed ones. I've got sealed boxes. I've got lots of funny colors, and I haven't used any of it because it just doesn't work properly. So I bought a heap of this stuff, the grey stuff, so I could 3D print myself an electric motor for the Mini. And that was one video I was desperately trying hard to do. I really wanted to do a video 3D printing the motor that I wanted to put into the car before I actually bought it. And I must have tried 50 times. I spent, I think, about $300 around that time, putting the new hot end on there and the direct drive and a new bed because my glass bed was warped. Thermistors, I put a new board in. What else did I do? A new Bowden tube, 3 or 4 different types of extruders. Yeah, doesn't work. I even had a couple of you guys actually try and help me out and gave me a whole heap of ideas, and it got better, but it's never been good. It's never been reliable or fun. Slap a Tesla sticker on it. Yeah, but then I won't be able to fix it myself, and supercharging will get turned off. I'm 3D printing 100 holders for my 1S 100p packs. Wish me well. Good luck, brother. I got Delta FL Sun Q good reviews from beginners. There we go. What have I got? I don't even know what I got. I've got so many. I've got about 5 or 6 different brands so far, and the brands don't make any difference. It still doesn't print. It still clogs up. Hi all, James S. I did. His name was XNU. Cheers from India, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. K-World firmware kit. I have got that, Keith. I haven't done it yet. Pete, what's with the clean shop? I always try and run a clean shop. This is one word, wife. I like having a clean shop, and I spent an hour cleaning before I did this live feed because I try and, I don't know, it looks better on a live feed when it's nice and clean, right? What have we got? My new K-World XL spring-loaded electrode system is in the works, redeveloping for months. Sounds cool, Keith. Can't wait to see it. Where can we set 2650 cell holders? Power spare cells. I cannot find the cell holders. Not going to build with hot glue. Ask Keith at In650 Shrink. He might have some, and if he doesn't, he'll probably order some in. What are you using other software to store, visualize solar panel battery stuff? I'm using DIYBMS, Influx DP, Granite to visualize it on Arduino tab in the living room, or is it Batrium sufficient for you? Batrium does it for me. I'm not a real DIY guy. I haven't got time to learn all the Grafana stuff. I did try that very early. On the DIY BMS is basically slowly cloning the Batrium features and everything else anyway. So I just don't understand all that sort of stuff. But if you have a look at my I've just got a NUC running down there. Where is it? Come on. Where are you? Nope. Are you coming? There we go. Is that one? Nope. I'm sorry I flicked through so many screens. It probably gives you a headache flicking around. I honestly can't remember which ones. So I've got watch power, so I can watch 270 watts, and it's charging at 1 amps, it's discharging at 1 amps. So I've got that, I can watch that, but I don't really care about that one. And then I've got the Batrium, and that just runs down there. Of course, I don't need that NUC on to watch the Batrium. I can do that many different ways, including via Wi-Fi. But I can see that nice and clearly. And then I've just got the Bluetooth for the Sunny Explorer. So I'm basically just using all the stuff that I have. I haven't bought or done anything else really. 26th, why aren't you working? One thing I don't like about this is the way it displays data. It's pretty horrible actually. Month, back to day, come on. Anyway, we're doing 600 watts. It's 6:51 in the morning at the moment, but it's very slow. As you can see, you click on something and it just takes forever to change something, or it doesn't change something. It's not updating to today. So that's pretty horrible, but that is the way that I do it. It's just nice and simple. It's cheap, it's easy. Literally anybody on the planet can do it. There's no programming or anything advanced needed. It's not all in one place, but it still works well. To keep my cells at ideal temperature and window, I use a Sonoff with a temp sensor, and it keeps my batteries at 15 degrees higher. That must cost you a fortune there with 3 feet of snow. But I guess if you've got an enclosed room, the batteries discharging would create a small amount of heat, and even charging would create a small amount of heat that would raise the temperature in a well-insulated space quite quickly, I guess. That's pretty cool. Single stepped up cell chargers, supercaps to the spot weld. Yeah, but it's really slow. It worked really well with the battery that I use for the 3S battery. It worked really well with that for a short period of time before I did something wrong. I actually think I put the battery in the wrong way around and screwed it up, but they fixed that up. I never sent it back for a diagnostic. Who is the spot welder company? Keen Labs. It should be in the link in the description below. Kweld. Keenlabs.de, I think. I'm excited to receive my Nano spot welder when it gets released. I'm excited to get the next one. I bought the next one, so I back the product. I'm very happy with the unit, and I think it serves a purpose within the community that will go down really well. Easy that you can totally build one, Dion. Pretty single step. Brody Kepper, deleted message. Chris Chester. Yeah, my moderator. Sorry, you just can't do that, Brody. You've got to be nice, otherwise my moderators will just keep deleting stuff. I have a DMI BMS too. I've integrated with Home Assist and give it not only ways to view, but it can trigger automations from it. That's awesome. If I had time, I'd actually go and buy a DIY BMS and set it up. But comparing the two would be very difficult because look, there is absolutely no chance that I'm not going to be biased towards bait trim. I love bait trim. I've got bait trim everywhere. I've just bought more bait trim stuff. What did I buy the other day? I got all the stuff for this. I don't even know where the box has gone. One thing I'm having a problem with this battery is layout and trying to work out where stuff goes. And I have no idea where the box has gone. I cleaned up and put it somewhere. But laying out the electrical box is, I swear to God, doing my head in. I have no idea on how to do it. What have we got? Hello, Peter. After I fix it, it's fixed and never works again. Love it. Certification's only good for HR. That's it. Somebody's been timed out. Lucas. Donkey Kong. What are you doing? Are you gay? I'm not surprised that got deleted. I like your lice. Lucas, I have no idea what you're on, brother, but you better share it around. Thank God. Fuck off, Lucas. I'm just sitting here reading all the deleted comments and it's radio. Thank you very much, moderators, for doing such a good job, as you always do. Where's it? Taz Putts in the chat room from? Nice to hello from the Netherlands. Thank you. Update on the Landrun inverter in the background. No, there is no update. One of my, like I said before, one of my very, very kind subscribers reached out to me about a month ago and sent me up, very, very quickly sent me up the USB stick so I could configure it. So I hooked the 48 volt up to it via a variable power supply, and it turned on. I could configure the wireless, but it wouldn't. No, I could get the wireless to work. I could view it on the app on my phone, but it wouldn't actually change any settings. I have no idea why. I think the wireless device is programmed to the inverter. I think it's like a serial number or something. So he very, very kindly set it up, and I had it for altogether too long. I should have sent it back much quicker, but I was trying to get it working, and I was busy and couldn't get to the post office, and I feel really bad, so sorry about that. But I was very, very appreciative for the opportunity. But like I said before, it is just there, so it doesn't get any more damage than it's already been, being skull dragged around my workshop because it's quite heavy. You're asking about the handheld spot welder. Cahill, g'day from Puerto Rico. Welcome. What is your favorite charge controller? My favorite charge controller is that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, which is a PCM60X. I have 1, 2, 3, and I think I'm going to get a second one for here to replace my first one because it's 6 years old now. It still works perfectly fine. It's still got 4 kilowatt of solar panels on it, but I think it's one of those things that I should change out just before there's a problem, just to be proactive, I think the word is. Mine's in the garage where we heat it anyway. There we go. Keep up the good work. I'm about to start my setups. I'll be using some setups like yours. Take on a reflow system, I get 48. I don't even know what is that reflow or red flow? I'm sorry, I don't even know what a reflow system is, buddy. What do you think about VTC6 cells are discontinued? I didn't realize they were discontinued. I would have to say they're probably been replaced by something else better. They don't sort of discontinue such a popular cell unless they've got something to supersede it, I guess. Hi from the UK. How much have you spent on batteries against electrical return? Is it worth it, or does the internet sub? Yeah, so the internet completely pays for everything that I do. I earn slightly more from YouTube than I pay out on all my projects. So even though this one, if I put a realistic value on this one, there's 10,000 bucks worth of cells and battery holders and all that sort of stuff. Now that particular one hasn't paid for itself yet, but if you look at all the other projects that I've done, it sort of all accumulates up. So if I had a look on return on investment without the YouTube income, I would probably, for my first battery, my 40 kilowatt hours, this one that I've got sitting down there in my battery shed, that is not the screen that I wanted to show you, that one. So that one there, I think, with all the mistakes and stuff, that cost me 10 grand. All the mistakes and the inverters and all the electricians and all that sort of stuff cost me about 10 grand. And I think I would be close to getting my money back on that if it was just return on investment as you guys would do it. I think 4 to 5 years. Now the drawback to that is I just spent months checking every single cell, which you should do. I mean, you get a car, you do maintenance, right? You get carpet in your house, you have to clean it and vacuum it and make sure it stays healthy, and it's a long-term investment. So I went through and did maintenance on my entire battery. I checked it all out, balanced it all up again, fixed any problems with wiring, updated wiring, all that sort of stuff. But I didn't do anything with the inverters, the 240 volt, or the battery location or anything, like the batteries themselves. They're still in the same location with the same basic wiring. It's all sort of battery management wiring, fan wiring and things like that I changed and upgraded. So 4 to 5 years, but now the kicker with that is those PIP inverters are good. Like some people are saying only a couple of years, but I've got 3 or 4 years out of those inverters. Now I've got my first inverter that one of the coils is 11 to 15 degrees Celsius hotter than the other one. So if you take the front cover off and you have a look, you put a thermal camera on, and the two coils up the top, the one on the right is much hotter than the one on the left, and you can actually put your hand on it and feel there's a huge accumulated temperature difference. I think the one on the right is like maybe 20 or 25 degrees warmer than air temperature. So on a 40-degree day, I've seen 50, 60 degrees on that inverter, which isn't too bad because I've got air cooling through it. I've got a drink. There is air running through it. I've got fans and stuff cycling the air, so it does cool down like that. But those inverters are sort of coming to the end of their life. So then you're going to have to spend another 2,000 bucks or whatever it is on inverters. So then the ROI changes again. Would I do it again in this way? No, I wouldn't. I would still absolutely use the PIP inverters. I love them. I've never had a problem with them that hasn't been caused by me. And the only thing that has been caused by me is not tightening up bolts enough. And that's a problem caused by me, right? So I stand behind them. I will recommend them up the kazoo and back again. I love them. But the actual return on investment, it's tough, right? It really is tough. And it depends on, I mean, there's some people in the States that pay 0.7 cents for their power. I pay 0.25 cents Australian for my power. So 25 cents per kilowatt hour. That said, The solar diverter was probably a better investment, I would have to say. The solar diverter for my hot water system is one of my bigger bills. And I think that's done near 5,000 kilowatt hours. So it stopped, when I got that, I was getting 6 cents per kilowatt hour selling it back to the grid. Now that's changed a little bit now. I've changed plans and I've got 15 cents per kilowatt hour. But even at, say, go 10 cents average over to, say 5,000 kilowatt hours, I've saved an awful lot of money. I've saved twice the value of that unit, diverting it back to my hot water system. So that was a better investment than batteries. I think I saw a comment there about Bitcoin mining and batteries. Yeah, I still do lots of stuff. In the last couple of months, I do a lot of stuff with mining rigs and stuff like that. I still have 2 card rigs that I'm mining with Ethereum, but I only mine when I've got excess power, and that's hooked up to one of my Batriums, so it only turns on when my batteries are charged. In the last couple of weeks, the batteries haven't been charged, so that hasn't been technically running. But I have people all the time asking me whether I would do Bitcoin mining with batteries, and the simple answer is no, you're friggin' mad. It doesn't work very well. What you're better off doing is just get solar, get a really big solar system, sell what you can during the day to the grid, use the rest, well, actually, you really want to use all of it yourself, self-consumption. But yeah, get a big solar system, and then at least that'll probably bring your power costs down by about 1/3, I guess you'd say. So that's how I do that. Sean, please don't delete me. I'm nice, Pete, sometimes. Well, sometimes it's good enough for me, and I won't delete you. I haven't got better things to do than delete you, but I guarantee you my mods will. Do you make replacement batteries for e-bikes? No, I hate doing e-bike batteries. I don't want to do it again. Don't get stung by bees. I've been stung by bees yesterday 8 times, and I've probably been stung 100 times in the last couple of months. I get stung every weekend. It's because I don't wear gloves, and I don't wear socks, or I wear black socks, and they sting my ankles all the time. It's getting to the stage now where I just don't even bother. I just put a suit on and just sort of go and do what I need to do. But I'm a proactive beekeeper. I really like checking my bees all the time. And I've got one queenless hive, which is kind of shit. But I bent my queen excluder. I bent one of the wires on it. My queen got up 4, so she was laying in 4 deep boxes, including my flow frames. And there was larvae all through my bloody hive. So I went in there, I raided 30 kilos of honey, and then I just took the 2 top boxes off because they both had brood in them in all stages. I just took them off, took them out to the farm, and put 2 new boxes on that one. Found the queen, put her back down the bottom again. I must have rolled the queen or something, and I've got no larvae in that one from the weekend check. So I've either got a virgin queen that hasn't laid yet, or I've got no queen at all, and I have to go and buy another queen, which is not a problem. So now I've got 2 4 deeps, so I've got 3 honey supers, and the brood box. I've got 2 of them here, and then I've got 3 out at the farm, and hopefully another 2 more in the next week or so for hives. So I'm getting a few hives, and I really love them. I've got 5 registered for here, but I've only got 2 hives, and then I've got 10 registered out on the farm with Biosecurity Australia. Sean Maker, thanks. I finished forwarding my that was Watch Power Alternative. I've started using some new free monitoring software pip called Multi Control 1.1. I will have a look at that because I'm always looking for that sort of stuff. For access, what's someone? Geez, that looks busy. I'll take a look at that later. Where's my chat? And never get rid of the chat. There we go. What is your lowest capacity cell voltage after you leave them to rest during the cell processing? Well, I don't like it dropping more than 0.1 of a volt, but you've got to make sure you let it rest and then do a voltage check and then let it rest again, and then do a voltage check. You can't do the voltage as soon as you take it out of the charger because the voltage drops. Do you watch Fully Charged on the YouTube channel? Yes, no, I used to, but I found them to get too commercial. I love his style, and I did think I was going to try and emulate his style and do stuff like that in Australia, but no, I don't. But he has reached out to me and said he will stop by if he is in Australia at some stage. And once Johnny left, I was sad. But I watched Johnny, car pervert. Yeah, I watch him. Review mirror. What is the Atneys used for? I don't even know. Reflow is this. Oh, reflow oven to solder SMD on PCBs. Oh, okay. I just use a quick DW. What is it? Quick 861 DW and a Hacko 8951, and then a desolder station and whatever else. Medical. What is it? Medical loadings. How safe is this be? I'm not sure what you're referring to, but if it's my Powerwall, it's safe enough for me to be happy to have it sitting behind me all day. Why did you use separate charge controller? Why not use the PIP inverter internal charge controller you already paid for when buying it? Rudy, in the early days, my first inverter, my first PIP inverter, which still works and is out on the farm, was a PIP 2424HS. It was the non-MPPT version of the PIP inverter for a 24-volt battery, and it had 2,400 watts. Now, unfortunately, if you put a 2,000 watt load on that inverter for maybe 5 minutes, the thing would cook itself to death and shut down. So it was good for like a 1,000 watt continuous load, but anything over that, you started causing heat issues. Add solar to that, and it added even more heat to the inverter itself. So I started having problems with that, and I didn't trust it. Now, that inverter, don't quote me, is like 6 years old. And it's probably been used for 4.5 to 5 years of that time. I just replaced the fans in it a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Didn't video that either. So I just replaced the fans in it because I had an 04 error. So the fans were running and working, but they were saying it was an error, so I don't know. But replacing the fans fixed that. So back in the early days, it was basically because of heat. So I sort of had that thinking. So I bought the PCM60X and run the two. Makes sense. And then I had the PCM60X. I had that already set up. So why change it? And that's when I got the... Then I got PIP 40... No. But I get a 2424 MSX, which had the MPPT. And then I put a few more panels onto that one. So then I run both. Now I got 3 kilowatts on the right-hand side PIP inverter of solar. And then on the left-hand side, I've got 1.5 kilowatts. I think that's right. It might be the other way around. And then I've got another 4.5 kilowatt or something on the PCM60X. So the long answer, or the short answer, is it was because of heat. I was trying to keep heat out of it. Now I don't mind so much. It's still working. It still works. So I made a video prototype and did my own YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, trigger lights on my house alarm and sends. That's awesome. Message deleted by the Google moderator team. That's weird. I've never seen that. Google moderator team. Geez, what was that? I can't even see what that was. I've never seen that. Pete needs 15S. Just do it. Love your cell. I can't do 15S, Sean. I can't do 15S and make it look like that. What are you talking about, man? 15S will screw absolutely everything I've ever done up. I can't do it. Don't make me do it. Red flow, yes, that's what I know. Cell Modules using Anise? No. I'm in the UK. Power starts the soul of your firstborn and goes up from there. My firstborn is 23. She doesn't have a soul. Sean Maker. Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks. Am I still on a timeout? I need friends. I don't think you're on a timeout because I can see your comment. 100% agree on maintenance. Just got done switching over LifePowerwalls from AGM. Ran AGM for 3 years when we first started. Along with the battery replacement, we updated wiring, etc. I think you also, the thing about maintenance is not so much about maintenance, but as a community, we're learning a lot from what we're doing, what we've seen. We've seen fires. I haven't seen a fire from a battery itself. I've seen fire from users creating a fire. But we've seen lots of stuff and we're learning lots of stuff. And I mean, I got the update for the battery, so all the timer and stuff. So I put all my fans on timers, and then I had to upgrade my BMS because I wanted to get rid of all of my converters down there because my 48 volt to 12 volt converters just use extra power. So I was trying to, in the battery shed, I've been trying to optimize everything, reduce fault points, increase reliability, and that so far has worked really, really well. I've probably taken out maybe 0.5 kilowatt a day of static loads on inefficiencies. One of the big things is I shortened up all my cables and neatened them all up and put everything in heat shrink and tied everything down so I couldn't knock anything or bump anything and break it. But the DC to DC was chewing a lot of power, I found. So I've gone to the version 2 of the relays on the Batrium expansion board. I bought a version 2 one. I've got the version 1 one over here. I'll use it up here. And then that allows me to run up to 60 volts with these 48 volt fans rather than 12 volt fans. So that saves me a little bit of power. And the Batrium also turns the fans off when it's hot or cold, or at night time when I'm asleep, because it's really noisy with fans going out there when I need a lot of cooling. So it also turns them off on a schedule. Well, at least it did. Like, it will do. I haven't done the schedule yet, but it will. So that'll save me even more power. I know it's like we're talking little bits like this, but that'll also make my battery last longer. I've also been doing lots of thinking with I'm calling it micro cycling. A long time ago, and this is going to be a rant, so if you don't want to hear a rant, you're better off hitting that like button and pissing off. With all of my batteries, back in the day, I created a battery with 1800 milliamp hours all the way up to 3400 milliamp hours. I don't think they were ever that high, but you know what I mean. So I had a huge range of batteries, and everyone said you don't mix batteries that are all different milliamp hours. And I'm going, and my argument has always been up until a few weeks ago. And I was lying in bed at night thinking, wait a minute, we are sitting here using these cells, and I can have a 3800 milliamp hour cell, or I'll go 4000 because that's an easy number, 4000 milliamp hour cell and a 2000 milliamp hour cell. And my thinking was also, you're drawing power out of these two batteries at the same rate, but this one, its state of charge is actually going down 10%, whereas this one's only going down 5% because this one's double the capacity. And nobody is allowed to disrespect my mathing capabilities live. But so what I sort of started thinking was, this one is dropping by a voltage, and this one's dropping by less voltage or less amp hours or capacity or whatever. This one would go, oh, I'm just going to take a little bit from this one and top myself back up again, which is what is happening. So this cell here is microcycling constantly, and not just once a day. It could be 10,000 times a day. If it moves by 0.01 of a volt, this cell here has to give a little bit of power back to this one. Stay with me. So this one is microcycling. So it's cycling ever so slightly, giving power to this one, and this one is cycling slightly more by taking it, and when it's under load by removing it. So this one here is doing this. So this cell, this 15 or 2000 milliamp hour cell, is going to fail quicker than this one. Now I think I couldn't do a video on it because I didn't know the visual way of describing how this has happened, because there are a lot of people out there that have said this before, and it's echoed across my YouTube channel comments. You can't put different capacity cells into a battery. I think I finally agree with them. I hate that fact because it really destroys what we're doing as a community, trying to use these cells as a second life. So what I did with this battery, and I didn't do it deliberately, but I still did it. I didn't use any cells, I think, under 2400 milliamp hours. So I've basically got 2400 milliamp hours to an average of 3000 milliamp hours. So the spread is much less. So that's going to be a much better battery, and it's going to last a lot longer than my generation 1, my very first, with the old bus bars, the nickel strippers bus bars, where I had 1800 milliamp hours as a minimum, all the way up to 3000 milliamp hours, potentially 3400 milliamp hours. So that might be why I replaced like 100 cells in my battery, because I had a couple of self-discharges and stuff in that first battery, and I had some problems that I sorted out. Maybe that is the sole reason why. So if you're building a battery, try and keep them as tight as you possibly can. I mean, those ones are built with the 50 milliamp hour range, so they're nice and tight, and they're balanced between each battery. But I think we need to do more to balance in between the cells, the individual 18650 batteries. And I promised you that would be a rant, and I hope that wasn't too much. I'll get back to the chat now. Review Amiro, I haven't seen that one. Dion, sorry. Dion, DIYBMS. What we got? What's better, 24 or 48 volt batteries when loss converting to 230 lower than... Whippy, it's in my experience, it's better going, the higher the voltage, the better. I started with 12 volt, went to 24, and then went to 48. I would have saved a lot of money if I had have just gone to 48 volt, but I didn't have the money for an inverter back then. I would also say it's cheaper to do 48 volt, even though the inverter is more expensive, and it takes longer to commission, so you need more cells to run 48 volt than you do 12 volt. But all the cabling and all that sort of stuff is less heat. There's more support for like real commercial type breakers and trips and stuff like that. So I would always go 48 volt before I did anything else. But there's that money thing you've got to build up to it as well. And maybe even proof of concept. Band spike is used often, and it is sharpened regularly. Chris Chester, that ain't the truth. My soul is now fire dinosaur. Depends on gear. Generally 48 volt is better. There we go, we covered that. I'm just going to skip. If I've missed anything that's really important, you're going to have to put it again, because I've just skipped to the bottom. Darren, MPPT is recommended for 4S 60 build. Will we get a battery for my trolling motor? MPPT recommendation for a 4S, I wouldn't do, well, 4S 18650 is fine if you can get a battery, a BMS that'll work in that range and it's cost effective. You've got to watch your voltages, because it's like 16.6 or 16.4 volts top. And you're low, and it doesn't match with a lot of inverters and stuff. And the trolling motors, if you use a DC to DC, so it's got constant current, you might get away with a higher one, like I did with that trolling motor battery. And that's never been in a trolling motor battery, even though it's my second highest views video ever. But it gets used every other week as a battery pack to charge with the iCharger and the X6. And it also runs little projects and stuff like that, and it also run my discharges as well. Paul, 1200 is basically 50% from you, so I guess for yourself. What we got? How's the Mini coming along? It is going nowhere fast. Those cells sounds like they were used and abused. Paul, what's up for random Q&A? I'm all right, mate. Andy C, welcome. Regarding message deleted by the Google team, I was right. 1850 pack data mentions to a page. No clue what it was a problem. I can't even read it. Review mirror. I can't even read it. It's the first time I've ever seen it, but it must have been. It must have been something that was defamatory or hate speech or something like that. They're pretty good with that sort of stuff. Or bad, but I don't know. Maybe they misread it. Who knows? Started with 24 volt here the first few years and switched to 48 volt when we got a 230 volt inverter. Much better and a lot less amp draw on the inverter. Yes, less heat as well. Fully charged. Did a bit about electric bike conversions that could cost £1,000. Was weak as a dishwasher. Caused a bit of a storm in the comments. But storm in the comments is bloody good for YouTube, right? Comments interaction is where they make money. So they probably don't care. They probably walked away with 10, 20 grand in their pocket. Yes, they were. My question is, so what? Apart from having less capacity, is that a problem? Less capacity is not a problem. If you've got room to put them in, use them. There is a reason why batteries from lithium dies below 60%, or why 60% seems to be deemed end of life. Paul just made sure that you never put insured. Absolutely. There are no rules to DIY unless you live in Australia, and apparently there is now. Paul, so you basically risk the higher they do. I'm 50 years old. If I live to 100, I have 50% life left. I'm still good. My batteries are not. I feel old. I don't even know how old I am. I think I'm 46 or something like that now. Something like that. I'm an old duck. Look, I got grey in my beard. The fully charged host Robert went on the offensive. He wasn't happy. But again, going on the offensive, I mean, if you look in my comments, if anybody puts something like anything crazy in my comments, you're going to burn your house down or you built a bomb or whatever else, I will instantly poke them in the ribs. One thing, like, look, I'm not even going to discount this. Jehu taught me a lot in the early days. Thank you, buddy. I don't care if you haven't talked to me for a year, 2 years, whatever. He still provided me with a great deal of useful information. And one thing Jehu said is, haters make you money. Haters really earn you a lot of money. So I poke them in the ribs. I don't lose any sleep over it. I don't care what they say. If they say something defamatory or whatever else, I'll ask them if they need a hug or something like that. And I'll egg them on, because the more interaction within the video, the more YouTube pays attention to it. So I love it. So going on the offensive, that's a good business strategy more than anything else. This is water in a Pepsi bottle, by the way. Abused LiFo4 batteries. I can't even help you on that because I've never done anything with it. That was a question with all the people commenting. You're only as old as the woman you feel. And I'm moving to Asia. No. Thanks for pointing out matching capacity topic. I have 5 packs. Same capacity, but guessing, learning all the whole time. That's one clean workshop behind you. I do try. Don't look that way. Paul, if I fit, actually, if you look back about an hour in the video, you'll see that side of the workshop. Paul, I fit where build the packs. I would build the packs with the cells matching the capacity as close as possible. That's what I did with my LiFo4 cells. Absolutely. 46 is a perfect age. I may be biased. I don't know. I don't even know how old I am. I'm a 74 baby. So someone else can do the maths on that. Have I got a swimming pool? There's a long story about that, Dion. I did have a swimming pool. And I spent many hours, it was like the printer, I spent many hours fixing it and cleaning it and taking out leaves and getting it not to be green and filtering it, and spent many hours with a pump running at 1,000 watts. My throat's starting to get sore, so that means this live feed is going to finish eminently. Yeah, and my kids would swim in it every weekend and make a mess and not pick up all their pool toys and put the pool cover back on. They never put the pool cover back on. And I kind of got the shits with it one day. And you know how you can get those big 6 foot long, 1 inch across um, iron crowbars that you get? Well, imagine for a second I pretended that little fucker was a javelin. And I launched it into the bottom of the pool. And I sat there watching the water drain away. I'll tell you what, I had a couple of kids that weren't too impressed, but I'll tell you what, it was the most therapeutic thing I've ever done in my life. And if I went to that camera, it'd be even better. Yeah, so I put a crowbar through the bottom of it, and then I hired a bobcat and filled it in. It was very therapeutic. So to answer that question, yes, I had a pool. 46, I'm 72, 73 baby, birthday not till November. How many 18650s, 650s did you blow up in that swimming pool hole? Keith, you can't be bringing up stuff that we had in live chats or stuff that we said 3 years ago. I did a lot. I spent 2 weeks blowing shit up in that hole, burning stuff, stabbing 18650s, getting solar charge controllers and then putting it onto a battery. And then just getting 36 volts from the solar panel, putting it onto a 12-volt battery and just letting it sit there. I got hundreds of hours of footage and I deleted it all. I didn't want to be that person that did a video for sensationalist reasons. Mike just did a really good one, and I don't think that's sensationalist now. I think that's educational. But I was doing it to try and get YouTube views, and I decided that wasn't the person I wanted to be, and I deleted it. Even though I have every video that I've ever edited, I have 2 backups of everything that I've ever done. Yeah, I deleted all that footage and didn't use it on principle. So there you go, I had a pool. How's the hot water diverter going? Hot water diverter is still pumping out. I think I looked at it the other day. It's almost 5,000 kilowatt hours it has diverted. 42 plus 80. Chris Chester, yes. And the truth comes out. Talk about best option for batteries on a small sailboat for electric outboard. I can talk to you about what I think you should have. I don't own a boat. I don't have enough money to own a boat. But I would not do this type of battery. I would do something like, my throat is getting really sore. I would do something like what Battery Hookup just released, the LiFePo4 cells that were in a sealed container. No air can get in, all that sort of stuff. BMS is inside of the box. On a boat, you've got a few problems. Constant movement. These cell fuses, I reckon, with even micro vibrations, would eventually start breaking fuses, which would cause imbalanced batteries, which would cause more stress on your BMS, which in turn could cause your boat being more like a campfire. Also, if you use the old version with the fuse wire, that'd just rattle off and it'd break, again causing the same effect. I've seen, even in my battery shed, I did about 20 cells that were just rusted, and they were underneath the heat shrink. So they were rusted without any damage to the ends. The actual underneath the heat shrink was rusted. So water, a wet, moist environment with salt, these batteries would just, they shit themselves after 2 years. I reckon you wouldn't even get 2 years out of them. So I would personally go a sealed battery, possibly a Nissan Leaf battery, well sealed up. But of course, it depends on whether you want ballast, whether you want weight saving, how much solar you've got and all that sort of stuff, and how much load. But personally, Nissan Leaf battery, something pre-built. I wouldn't go Tesla battery because it's not sealed. So yeah, that's my opinion on what I would do if I could afford a boat. Pete and his 1860 war in the backyard. It looked like a war. I'm the youngest guy here, 44. How do you sort out weak cells when you're buying them new? I've never bought a new cell, so I can't answer that question. Lots of work to clean a pool. Yeah, it's shit work, and it's every single day. Average Joe, go back to editing, or I'm going to ban you. Uh, we need some more Joe. I've given several ultrafire batteries and put them on fire. They have been more power than them. But nice with pool toys and stuff. No, they're not nice with pool toys. What was the best rant I ever learned? Thank you so much. I hate my rants. I just watch my viewers just drop off every time I go off on a fucking tangent. So I was like, no, can't do that. Another thing, I promised myself not to talk about YouTube money or anything else this time, and I think I've done a bloody good job. Have you asked your insurance company if they will insure your battery? Dylan, yes. So that's a big one. Back in the day, yes. They did insure it. It took me 6 months or something. I had to have letters from the installers. I had to have photographs of everything. I had lots of stuff changed. However, that's all changed now with the new laws and stuff like that. And that is why I got a shipping container, because that will allow me to reinsure it. But it's kind of insured on, what do they call it? Grandfathering law rules. But with the new rules, I fear that those grandfathering rules, I'll use that as an excuse not to. So even though it is on my insurance policy, they will find something that will void the insurance. I can almost guarantee that. And unfortunately, that's a risk I'm willing to accept. And the risk and the reason why I'm so diligent about looking after my batteries and not just expecting them to be there forever and work flawlessly. And that's also why I have such faith in the battery, because it does give me some sort of realistic faith that they're safe. And it's never proved me wrong yet. And it also tells me when there's problems with the batteries, let's face it. So once I get this battery, and there's a reason why I'm putting it in this box, with the new regulations, I can bolt them to the wall like that with my mounts, but I can't inhabit the space. So if it was only a battery shed, it would be perfectly fine. But I don't want that. I'm actually going to build out half of, because I've started another YouTube channel with my bees. I'm going to build out half of the shipping container with a honey house, so I can process honey. And I'm going to waterproof a lot of the stuff in there, so I can actually wipe it down with water. And on the other side, I'm going to have all the power stuff. Now, power and water don't mix. I know, but I'm sorry, you can make that safe, and it's easy to do. The inverters are all IP rated. The battery will be in a housing. I may even waterproof that housing, but I've also got a cover that goes over it, so it's completely watertight, if not airtight. So I can actually clean out all the honey and stuff and wipe down stuff and keep it nice and clean. I'm hoping to go stainless steel in the long run. In the short term, it will just be wood with an epoxy coating over it. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully I'm starting that next weekend, along with getting the shed, the shipping container lined and insulated, and also running all the power wires so I can put 240 volt inside of there with light switches and everything else. I got a couple of LED lights for in there, some really good bright LED lights. So the electrician's going to put switches and lights and power points and all that sort of stuff in there, and I'll have them IP rated power points, all that sort of good stuff. So I'm pretty keen to do that. I really like my beekeeping at the moment. And I've just gone off at a tangent again, and I'm like 3 pages behind. On boat safety would have to be a priority. Absolutely, thank you. Boats bend quite well, but there's plenty of water to put them out. I guess then they sink. I suspect if he told his insurance company they'd revoke his insurance. Absolutely not. It was the best rant ever learnt from a smiley face. Thank you. What do you think about secondhand solar panels, and what should you look out for? The same for inverters. I've got every, except for my commercial system, which I've never touched. all of my solar panels are all secondhand. Every single one of them secondhand. What you have to look out for, I found, I got 32 solar panels a couple of months ago, which I'm going to have to sell to raise some funds. But what I found with those ones was it got removed because of an earth fault. And I thought, okay, they've been on the roof for like 10 years. They're 240 volt or watt solar panels. They were quite old, I think 8 to 10 years old. And there's 8 kilowatts of them. And there's an earth fault and the inverters died and all that sort of stuff. And I thought, I didn't think much of it. And they're sitting here for months and months and months and months and months. And then I started to think, I'm going to do something with them. And I was mucking around and someone was potentially going to buy them. So I started pulling them out and cleaning them. Now, earth fault, you think, oh, well, the solar panel's shorting out or something. Well, what it turned out to be was the installers that installed it originally did a shit job. Did a really, really shit job. And there was 9 leads, the positive and negative, so one of that pair, over the 32 panels. That was actually looped, but it was put in between the solar panel and the rail. And they'd screwed it down and pinched the solar cable. So the solar cable was the thing that was shorting out to the ground. So it should have been warranty, or it should have been that solar installer should have been bloody fired, but hindsight. So it wasn't the solar panels themselves that were faulty, it was just the cable. So I just snipped it off, put a new genuine MC4 connector on there, and away they went. So if I was looking at solar panels, I would look for degradation of the backing. I wouldn't worry about discoloring. Discoloring, I've got heaps that are discolored, they work fine. The white bit on the back starts to fall apart and peel. I would avoid that. I would avoid anything with cables that have been short-circuited. And there's also the boxes on the back with the diodes in it. If any of them are burnt up, I would steer clear of them. But apart from that, any solar panel that is cheap, free, or cost-effective for you, I would use. I had 170 watt panels up there originally. And I will transition to these 240 watt if I don't sell them eventually. But at the moment, all of my solar panels are second-hand 190 watt panels. So, and I tested all of those by getting a clamp meter, and if it said 5 or 6 amps or something, I put it in the sun. I faced the sun. I joined the 2 cables together, put clamp meter on, and made sure it was there was enough current flowing through, and also put a thermal camera on the actual, because it dead shorts them. Put a thermal camera and to make sure there wasn't any really, really overly hot cells, and there was quite a few. Occasionally you'll get one cell that just glows red hot under the thermal camera, and all the rest are sort of not really. I would class it as a bad cell, but a lot of people don't have a thermal camera to test that. And it is quite hard with the sun beating down on it and all that sort of stuff. So there you go. So second-hand inverters, I would use a second-hand inverter as long as your insurance company will insure it, or it's in Australia, it's approved for connection. That's also a consideration. Transferring files and creating proxies. There we go, Average Joe. That's a good reason for it. Joe to 1 million. Pete to 1 million. Thank you very much. That'd be nice. Even 100,000. I use my old 152p packs as a boat anchor. Maybe I should check it for rust. Fernando, welcome back, buddy. I haven't seen you for a while. How's your skateboarding going? Nothing wrong with them if that's all you can afford. That's how I started. Absolutely. Everyone needs a hug. Hugs are important. What's up? It's been a long time. Hey, buddy. I see all your updates on Facebook. You're one of the few people I have on Facebook from YouTube. Sorry, sir, your container is 1 centimetre too close to the wooden fence. Denied. That is actually a thing. That is actually a thing. And it's actually 2 centimetres further away than I need. 103 watching, only 57 thumbs up. Welcome to my live feeds. Thumbs up given, thank you very much. I've been thinking about putting some away for the house. But you know YouTube, thank you very much. What do you think of Rich Rebuilds? Rich Rebuilds, I am a bloody fan of Rich. I think that guy has a talent an absolute talent for talking for 2 whole minutes before he provides any information and fitting 2 sponsored spots in that time. The man's a genius. No, I like Uncle Rich. I think he's great. I think he has great content, relevant content, and I absolutely love his voiceovers. Freaking brilliant. Love Rich. Rich, reach out to me. I'd love to have a chat one day. You reached out to Jehu. Come on, I'm next. Sean, error in my case. Sorry, sir, we don't net meter. You have to connect to the grid. Need a cup of joe in the morning. I need to stop talking. My throat is absolutely freaking killing me. In Germany, it is the worst ever. I can tell you. It's like you grow your own tomatoes and pay the supermarket monthly because you didn't buy it there. Look, I've heard that a lot of times with solar. It is ridiculous. I've even heard places taxing you for having solar panels. Actually taxing you a yearly tax for having solar panels. I think that's freaking ridiculous. It's like taxing you for having a water tank in your house and using your own water. So do the new rules involve animal sacrifice and rituals? Yes, but only on a Friday and only at midday. Smarter says, can you guide assist with unique battery need? I could rationalize the technology sales. No, I've had that a million times. I don't care to play in the new battery game. I'm in recycling. I'll see you in 12 years. And every new product could bloody revolutionize the market. We've got to get some different marketing. That's messed up. What do we got, Average Joe? If I can't talk Pete into 15S, maybe I can talk Joe into it. Maybe the only one. Oh, you could probably talk Average Joe into it because he hasn't got my battery build like I have. Anyone with a battery shelf could do it. And I'm not discounting 15S. I actually think 15S is a freaking good idea. It's less load on each cell. It's less voltage range, so less cycles. It'd be less heat. It'd be more cabling and more space. But 15S is actually a really good idea with 18650s, I think. It's just not for me, so I'm not going there. If cells are low, is it worth bringing them back up to normal voltage? Yes, absolutely. I do it all the time. Every single one of my NCR 18650 cells out of these cells with blown BMSs, because the BMS thing, that's a bottle. The battery analyzer can't even read it because the BMS is, where's been there? That one, camera. The BMS is shagged. All of those were like 1 and 2 volts. So, yes, test every one, I say, except if it's 0 volts. Don't bloody pop the CID. That's madness. Smarter says, please instead of getting attention to this, I cannot figure out how to display. No, I can't help with that. Sorry, dude. Create a YouTube channel and I will approve your links as long as they're not spammy. 50s, if your equipment can handle it, absolutely. But even if your equipment can't handle it, you can still program your charge controller to work in the right voltages. I run 3 to 4 volts, still runs the same, but easier on your cells. The farm runs from 3 to 4 volts, and it runs so well. I have a little bit more because I have some huge power needs on occasion. My kids and stuff have all got gaming computers or whatever you call them, and a couple of screens and all that sort of shit. So I think my average load used to be like 600 watts, but it's sort of gone up to about 1,000 now. You may need to go 3.4 up to 2 inverted UPS. Yes. What is your opinion about optimizers on each solar panel? I've never used them. I've looked into them. I think they would be a bloody great idea. Hello. Spirit Slayer, notice me. How are you? Why do people do that in live feeds? It drives me crazy. Thank you very much, Keith, for being on top of that. Skateboarding is going fine. I got an electric one and may build a nice pack for extra range power. Awesome. How's your big battery gun, or did it never come over from your last location? Rich rebuilders. Awesome. Can someone just boot the assholes rather than... Come on. We have a moderation rule. Moderation should be easy. If they're an arsehole, boot their asses. Don't just delete their comments. And ban them from the whole channel. I don't care. Just don't put up with it. Dylan C, does anyone like Jehu anymore? All he does is try and sell you crap. I still like Jehu. I think he's done a lot for the community and he deserves to be where he is. The fact that he tries selling stuff, I think that's just a commercial reality. He needs to make money and earn money. Do I like that side of it? No, not at all. But it's reality. A lot of YouTubers, and including me, need to earn money to make a living. And I can't make a living from YouTube, so I decided to concentrate on my day job. And YouTube was, I mean, I always try to make money, but I could never make it a living from YouTube. It's a hobby. And it's going back to definitely into the realms of hobby. Timed out. Why are you timing out? Just delete. What shampoo do you use? I don't know, Pert 2-in-1 or something. I don't know. Whatever my wife damn well buys me and tells me to use. But I'm an oily hair person, so I wash my hair twice a day and I hate it. Off grid here, trying to grid tie as a red tape nightmare. Are you already connected to the grid? That's what I also like to know. I'm doing my first house rewire tomorrow. It's work experience for college. I can't wait. Electricity is so fantastic. A few months ago, I've been talking about it for a long time, but doing electrical apprenticeship so I can actually do all this stuff. But I'm too old. It's just not going to work at my age. Trying to change careers. But I tell you what, I'm jealous of you. I'd love to sort of help on doing that sort of stuff. Oh, 15S would bring the ideal hardware limits to the top end. Absolutely. Jehu needs to pay for his workshop, and Will Pros has got Doris and too much money now. What's Doris? I don't watch Will Pros much because I find a lot of his stuff is based on new community members, not older ones. I sort of like all my older members that I sort of have a chat with, and we all know each other, which is kind of neat. Okay, guys, I need to spend time with a better half. See you later, Sean. And I absolutely agree. I've been here for 2 hours. I might call it in 10 minutes. So if you've got another question, and leave a question quickly. Otherwise, smash that like button, and I'll probably see you next time. Has the 18650 community died down? I don't see them move on eBay like they used to. I think it hasn't died. It's evolving, and it's going to keep evolving. And the 18650s on eBay disappeared once battery hookup and big battery sort of arrived, and they pushed the price down, or at least made a more realistic pricing. Like back in the day, I used to pay $1 per kilo for laptop batteries. Now you're lucky to get $4 for one laptop battery, and like there's 3 or 4 laptop batteries in a kilo. So the price has gone up 20-fold, if my maths is even remotely correct. So yeah, it's evolving. I think in 2 or 3 years' time, there's nobody going to be doing 18650s anymore, or maybe there's be a diehard or two doing a video just for old time's sake. But we're going to go to Nissan Leaf cells. I mean, hell, for $1,000 you can buy a 60% degraded Nissan Leaf cell from Big Battery. Use Powerwalls as a discount code and my links, so I actually make some money for it. But yeah, for like $1,000 you can buy a battery. And I mean, Leon Ford from Lithium Power Australia, he's just bought over a shipping container load off them. And like they're $4,500 Australian by the time they get here, with import duties, shipping, and all that sort of crap. But even at $4,500 for a 15 kilowatt hour battery, I actually think that's really good for house storage. I'd actually do it in a second. And I have thought about buying one and doing a teardown, but I don't know how legal it is in our new sexy environment that we're in. Just bought batteries from Jehu because battery hookup ran out of batteries. I bought them from him. The prices were almost doubled. Yeah, I think Jehu's not as set up as battery hookup, so his prices are going to be higher. CID popping is loud. I run 3.2 to 4 volts. Okay, guys, I need to spend some time with the better half. See you later. Thank you very much. Dan the Man, eBay and Amazon have banned single cell sales. Absolutely, yes, and that's a thing as well. And not just single cells. You put 8650, Keith from 8650shrink.com is having troubles with that, and he's deleting, like, it's a heat shrink listing and getting deleted and stuff. So yeah, it makes it harder. Am I just disabled and I need help? Don't be a prick. I'm not being a prick. It's realistic. I can't help you, dude. 14 in 1 shampoo. Thank you for the info. I have to go. Thank you very much, Weppy. Fit Geek, take a leaf from Will Pros and write some books about your experience. Yeah, I can't spell or do math, so that's really hard. I have talked to Will Pros in regards to him writing books and stuff like that, and he has shared some stuff publicly and a little bit with me privately. Back in the day, it was a while ago. Actually, I might be confusing it with video he released. But Will makes a lot from his publications. But Will Pros is a very, very smart man. So, and credit to him. I mean, smart people should make more money. I think that's the way the world works. Has anybody run 86 with Polytech pouch cells, BMS on each stopper battery? No, I haven't. Giant Pack is still in Brazil, but my brother didn't program properly SBMS, and so he turned it off. Haven't been there for 3 years now. It's a shame. So my hair's longer than yours. Hello, everyone. Brian, welcome. Girlfriend equals Sheila. A Doris equals girlfriend equals Sheila. There we go. Yep. Okay. I get it now. When will you make inverter? Will they make an inverter 9 volt to 16 volts? I don't think so. I don't think that'd be economically viable for them in this day and age. Does anybody know the latency of the stream? It seems quite high. It's probably actually really shit. Don't worry about high. It's just in the shit range, which is well above high. Welcome to Australian internet, but it hasn't dropped out yet, so that's a bonus. I'm building a Nissan Leaf battery pack 48 volt system. Any tips? Yep, good BMS. Balance all your batteries before you put them in. So negative and positive, join them all up, balance them up. But apart from that, there's no real. I haven't done a Leaf battery. I really want to do a Leaf battery. And if the laws didn't change, I would still do a Leaf battery. Just using the grid to supplement solar. Need the inverter. It's Outback Radian. Grid support loads. Thanks for the giant stream. I had 22 beers and learned a lot. Going to bed now. See you later. Thank you very much, Review Mirror. And I'm going to call it as well. It's been almost 2 hours and my throat is killing me. Only two, not 22. Only 2. Do you have any videos on how to wires 8650 cells make a bigger cell? Yes, have a look at my beginners, I think it's called beginners playlist. Have a look there. There's lots of stuff, information there. How many of us bought the Ring doorbell batteries from Battery Hookup? I know they had around 60k. I wish I could get an inside lead on their batteries. With my commission, I don't get a commission based on a click anymore. I've only got a discount code. So Powerwalls, or Joe is boomed, or Mike is battery. Yeah, so you get 10% off with that. I have 25 pack life 04. I'm losing the plot. Keep going, stripping them down, rejig the pack the same way. Just going to keep going. Totaling, I paid £100 a pack. That's 200 Australian dollars, I think. Later, thanks, Joe. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm out of here as well. I'm just going to sort of skip through the rest, see if I've missed anything important or any super chats. I'm just getting started. I'm going to be hitting you up and run my plan past you before I get too far in it. I think that's okay. To be honest, I get 100 requests a day for help, private help. Don't message me. I won't reply. The only way to get me to reply is to send me lots of money and a blow-up woman. Or Patreon members get instant access via Skype. But I get too many messages to help people privately. We've got the forum, DIYPowerwalls.com, or Facebook group, DIYPowerwall.com, or secondlifestorage.com for the forum. You can go there and you get the community to help you rather than one person. That way you get a hive mind rather than one person's opinion, which is what mine is. Mine's opinion. I'm not skilled. I'm not talented. I'm not professional, and I certainly don't do this for a living. So you've got to get a bunch of people's opinions and stuff, and then make your own decisions. Cozy, thank you. Do you have an email for messages? Yes, I do. admin@DIYPowerwalls.com. Again, the private stuff I don't reply to. That's all the Facebook and the forum. Joe's out. I'm out. Thank you very much. See you later. I'm out. How about you? So battery hookup 6. 6p for the, and then another 4p. Sorry, I don't. I'd have to visualize that. Sorry, Dylan Davis. How about using battery hookup 6p nickel fuse in a 42 by configuration 4p first 3 cells? I'm confused. I can't even read that. I'd have to read that backwards to understand it. Bye all. Thanks for tuning in. No bus bars. You could do no bus bars. So, and then 6 and 30 times. No, sorry, I don't understand. Sorry, mate. And I'm going to have to go because my throat is really hurting. So thank you very much for tuning in, for everybody. If you're still here, please smash that like button. It really does help the channel. Leave a comment below if you want to watch this later. You can donate me another 2 hours of watch time. Just press play. Leave a comment. Thank you very much. I'm out of here. My wife has been awake for 2 hours and I haven't seen her this morning, so I'm going to go do that. Next live stream, I have no idea when. Thank you very much for tuning in.